Hey guys, welcome back to this week's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. We actually had to create 2 videos based on the short form or the anatomy of short form storytelling because ran out of time. So please, we're going to jump into the second half of this video series, looking at the idea of brands using this setup and payoff as an example to tell short form storytelling. So hope you enjoy it, and let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so this is actually going to be the second video of the anatomy of short form storytelling because I spent just a little bit too much time on the first video. It's like over 10 minutes. So this is going to be kind of the continuation of going through a couple of brands on social media and talking about not just best practices, but how are they delivering on this idea of a setup and a payoff. And just to reiterate and to kind of, ground everybody, if you did not watch the first video, let's just talk quickly about what that means. A setup in Hollywood or on Netflix, and if you watch any, movies or series, a setup is the hinting at the action or obstacle that's to come, right? It plants information and deepens the reader's sense of anticipation by laying down clues, right? So you're essentially laying down the groundwork, creating some type of curiosity. Now, that is what you should be doing in social media. And the setup in social media is the creative asset. It is the video, it is the animated graphic, it's the animated GIF or photography. And so the idea is that if I'm scrolling through my feed, I will see the setup and it'll spark some curiosity. I will then read the post copy and hopefully take some type of action, like a like, a comment, share, retweet. And that is a payoff, right? A payoff, in some instances, it's referred to as a revelation or a surprise, epiphany or twist or something. And it's anything that has been set up that is now fully realized. In comedy, it's the punchline. And in social media, it's just a well-written post. So let's go ahead and jump in and talk about a couple of examples of how some brands are doing this. Now, this is certainly by no means a criticism of any of these companies. In fact, the ones that we're going to talk about now are going to be those who I think have done a pretty good job and a better job than what we did looked at with some of the brands from the last video. So let's look at this one, Stat Social. I actually know these guys. They are a audience analytics platform. And this is a piece of content. It's organic content, right? So they're not necessarily promoting this piece of content. And I just thought, it's not bad, right? But a couple things just to note here. What they want to do is they want to drive a webinar webinar registrations, right? That's what they're promoting here. The post copy, the language on the image, which is the setup. It says find your influencers, calculate your ROI, and it gives us some general information as to the time and date of this webinar. Then they say that at the bottom, the data-driven approach to influencer marketing. Okay, so that is an amazing setup because as someone who works in this field, I'm already excited, right? Then at the top, it says, what does a successful influencer marketing campaign look like? Join our free webinar, The Data-Driven Approach to Influencer Marketing, to learn how to determine the real value of our campaigns. Okay, taking a break. All right, so I think it's just way too long. The post copy is way too long. There's no need for hashtags. I understand why they're using hashtags for visibility, but if I see this in my feed and I click on influencer marketing, it's going to take me to a page all about influencer marketing like this. And in that case, I may scroll down. I might find something more interesting. I may engage with other content. It's very unlikely that I'm going to go back and click the back button and then go register at their webinar. So you want to make it as simple as possible to drive some type of action, right? You don't want to give users the option to do other things. In this case, to click on different hashtags. So let me move on to IBM. And IBM is one of those companies that I think they're for a B2B company, they're very sophisticated in how they tell stories. And I think they're one of the better B2B companies that do that. And this is their LinkedIn page, and this is all their content that they post. And just really quickly, they post a lot of different types of content. You will see polls like this one here. You will see other kind of short form video. This is earnings. Okay, who cares about earnings? People on IBM don't really care about earnings, but whatever. But I wanted to call it just a couple things because I just thought that this was pretty interesting. So what they have here is they've uploaded some type of PDF, right? So it's a celebration of Pride Month, and we're stronger together. Swipe to hear more from IBMers, and they just created basically a PDF document, and it just has different quotes from different employees. And I just thought that was interesting, and I'm not sure why it is not showing up. Let me refresh this. So, but moving on though, you can see here the storytelling here is pretty good, right? They're using stylistically, they're using emojis, they're using good line spacing, they're linking off to IBM.com and corporate website. They're integrating employees into the content, and they are doing some type of video here. There was one that I thought was very interesting here. It's this one. If you look towards the bottom, this one here. So IBM Consulting Junior Application Developer Manuela from Brazil is ready to share her story with you. And you can see more, you can read the full story here, but the creative is pretty nice, right? It's life at IBM. It's mainly for Instagram, looks like, but they're promoting it here on LinkedIn. And it's the setup is just that. It's showing a young person who works for IBM, and it's got some really cool animation and really cool video. And then you read up here who she is. She's an app developer, and she's based in Brazil, and she wants to, there's going to be some type of video or something that's going to help share her story. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then moving to this company called Sutherland. It's a consulting company, very large company. And I spent a little bit of time looking at what they're doing online. And you can see here, it's it's, for the most part, a lot of B2B companies do this, right? They're promoting different awards, different, webinars, announcements, things all about them, right? That's what kind of the idea is in many cases. But I think that there's an opportunity for storytelling, right? The ability to create a series of setups and payoffs that are going to deliver value. And, in this case, they're, what they've done here, a little bit different than what we saw with IBM, is that they're stock photography, but these are images that they've uploaded. So if I click on that, it's going to take me to this image details page, right? So you might do this on Facebook and other platforms. They have an image details page, but it's not clickable, right? It's not taking me to this URL, where they want me to go. So they decided to do it a different way. They upload the image. They add in the post copy. They've added some hashtags again. If the intention is to get people to click, then this probably isn't the best created piece of social content, because there's other things. I mean, yeah, I can click, but I'm clicking here and I don't go anywhere other than the image details page. So, here's another one. Same thing, right? You click on the image, it takes me to this page. I don't know if that's a real Sutherland team or not, or if it's stock photography. But, they're linking to earned coverage. I think that's pretty smart, and it's better than, kind of standing at the mountaintop and beating your own chest, right? They're basically telling, readers about Harvard Business Review and some tips and tricks about remote work. And see, this is a different one. So here they're basically linking to a blog post. And I clicked on it. So, this is actually very well written. There's no need for a bunch of hashtags, right? Because I'm not sure what they want me to do. Do I click on these hashtags? Do I click on this link? Do I click down here? And there's an argument amongst, marketers that say, if you're creating a link post where this entire unit right here is clickable, then there's really no need to add a link in the post copy. And I'm of the mindset it doesn't matter. The more opportunity you give to the user to click, the better. So I've seen posts without the URL here. I've seen posts with the URL here, but they go to the same place, right? They go to this blog post. But again, no need for hashtags, because you are going to affect your click-through rate. So I want to just share that one, and there looks like the blog post, so that's nice. Same creative, got some internal linking down, that's good. Bolding certain keywords, pretty amazing. Going over to Snowflake. So Snowflake, the darling of Silicon Valley, and let me just refresh this because I bookmarked these a couple days ago. So I like Snowflake because they're producing a lot of original content, right? All of this is original. It is not, they're probably using stock video and stock photography, but they're, adding animation, adding, bumpers and things like that, lower thirds and whatnot to, make it more branded and more engaging. And so they have everything here from the videos to some type of A and Z virtual networking night in that region. They have more awards. I like this because, this is the way that content on LinkedIn performs well. When you are creating a semi-blog, right? It's not 500 words, but it's not just a sentence either. They're trying to tell somewhat of a story here. And the style of the content is, short paragraphs, sometimes one sentence is a paragraph. And that really is the style that companies should be taking on. Cool picture here of some type of advertisement, billboard advertisement, probably somewhere close to their offices in the Bay Area. So I thought that was good. Very good, stylistically good content, webinars, they're telling us right here, Snowflake for data scientists. Well, if I'm a data scientist, that is the setup. But then if I read the payoff, it's time to speed up your data science workflows now. You've made your data instantly accessible. So what's next? Then they're kind of going a little bit further, but not giving it all away. They're saying in the second installment of our training series on October 26th, discover how Snowflake simplifies your path to production with increased flexibility for scalable compute. Okay, so this right here is it's a story, right? There's a setup, payoff, and then there's a call to action, right? The setup is, are you a data scientist? By the way, our platform is perfect for you, and let us show you why. A couple of others. We're going to migrate here to Twitter just for a few minutes, and let me zoom in for a second. And here we have Grammarly. Most of you know Grammarly, I think this is probably one of the best posts I've seen. And, it looks like this was promoted at one point, but it tells a very interesting story. If you've used Grammarly, you'll see the creative here is showing how it's the product, the utility of the product, right? They're showing you that the platform will spell check for you as you are typing content. And so they're showing you that in this piece of creative here. Then they're saying in the post copy, tired of pulling all-nighters for school, ? Polish your essays faster with Grammarly. Try it now for free. Okay, so the lead up is not even any words. It's the product in action, right? So that is going to garner the attention of students, professors, bloggers, etc. And then the payoff is tired of pulling all-nighters for school. Maybe that could have been on the creative, right? Something like that, because that is a perfect, people are going to notice that right away. But I think this is, if I were to grade this would be certainly an A+. And then let's move over to Cisco. And you all know Cisco is, and this is another one. This is a podcast series that they're promoting. And in this case, there's no creative, no words on the creative. There's some words in the description down here, Executive Insights for CIO podcast series. And then it has two people back to back kind of thinking, right? What am I going to do next? Discover what's now, what's next, and what's needed to thrive in our ever-evolving digital world. Now, what I might say is I would, I might add somewhere on this post that this is actually a podcast. Like, what am I going to click into? Now, I see podcast series down here, but if for somebody who's scrolling through their feed and you only have 3 to 5 seconds to, again, get them hooked through that setup, they don't know is it a white paper, a blog post? Is it a third party piece of content? But in this case, it's a podcast. So maybe it's listen in to what's now, what's next, blah, 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 blah. So again, I would give this also an A. It's just a really well-written story, in my opinion. And then you have this one here. So Nido Tire USA. And again, don't know them, never heard of them. So please, if someone works there, you watch this or hear this, again, I'm not bagging on you. I'm just saying this is a different way. A lot of engagement here, by the way. So the difference with this one and the Cisco one is if I click on this image, it's going to take me to the image details page, right? So again, they consciously uploaded an image first, then they added in their post copy, which included the URL. Otherwise, what they could have done was, let's just go to this site now. They could have just grabbed this URL, right? This where they're linking to, and went to Twitter and did this, right? And I'm just going to show you really quickly how that works. So what I've done is I've clicked on the new tweet, and then I've added the link, and it's already giving me some type of view based on the metadata. And the metadata usually will pull in an image, the URL, the description here. And then what happens is if I tweet this, it all becomes clickable. right now, the only thing clickable is to the blog post itself, or the link is the link, right? It's going to take me to that URL right there that I'm highlighting. But if I click the image, again, so this is a style of content, right? But the tire itself, to me, it's a tire. Like, I have no idea what it is. There's no branding on it. It's just a white tire, or white background, black tire. And if I see it on my feed, I'm like, okay, if I'm in the market for new tires, then perhaps, but if not, then, not sure. So, again, not bad, but everything can be improved. So I hope that this, don't take any of this as criticism. This is all meant to help drive better content, drive better engagement. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this quick analysis. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn and or Twitter, or also subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm always posting content there. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. I would really appreciate it. And until I see you next time, have a great day. Bye.